My beloved child, before this message reaches its final moment, I need you to quiet every distraction around you. Stay with me for a moment, because what is about to unfold is not just another story, it is the hidden truth behind the day your soulmate believed they lost you forever. For the longest time, they blamed themselves. They replayed every conversation, every silence, every missed opportunity, wondering where everything went wrong. But recently, something unexpected came into their life, a forgotten memory, an old conversation, a detail they had ignored for far too long. That single discovery connected every missing piece of the puzzle. Suddenly, they realized the distance between you was never as simple as they had believed. Someone's influence, someone's hidden intentions, and a chain of misunderstandings quietly changed the direction of both your lives. As this unfolds, clarity will come, because this revelation has only just begun. There was one particular day your soulmate could never forget. It was the day hope slowly faded from their heart. They believed you had chosen another path. They believed your silence carried a message they never wanted to hear. But the truth they recently uncovered tells an entirely different story. They now understand that silence can hide untold emotions, and timing can disguise the deepest feelings. Looking back, they noticed strange coincidences that once seemed meaningless. A message that never reached its destination. A conversation interrupted at the worst possible moment. A decision made without knowing the complete picture. Every memory now feels different through the lens of this new understanding. This may resonate as we continue, because many journeys are shaped not by what happened, but by what remained unseen. As the truth settled into their heart, something changed inside them forever. Regret was replaced with determination. Questions turned into answers. They realized they had spent so much time mourning a version of the past that was never completely true. Instead of asking why everything ended, they began asking what could still be repaired. That shift became the beginning of a powerful transformation. The weight they carried for so long suddenly felt lighter because they finally understood they were never fighting against destiny, they were fighting against confusion. And once confusion disappears, a completely different future becomes possible. Every small sign around them now feels meaningful, as if life has been quietly preparing them for this exact realization. What surprised your soulmate the most was not the discovery itself, but how long the truth had been waiting to reveal itself. They could almost trace every step back to the exact moment everything changed. The answers had always been nearby, hidden beneath assumptions and unanswered questions. Now they no longer fear looking back because they finally see the entire picture instead of scattered fragments. That understanding has awakened a hope they believed was gone forever. A hope built not on fantasy, but on clarity, patience, and the courage to accept what was once impossible to understand. The story that once felt incomplete is beginning to reveal chapters neither of you expected. And this is only the beginning. The truth your soulmate uncovered has opened a door that cannot be closed again. Every unanswered question is slowly finding its answer, and every hidden piece is moving toward its rightful place. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next revelation explains who quietly influenced everything from the shadows, and why your soulmate now believes the day they thought they lost you was never the end of the story at all. What they discovered next changes everything. And that truth is far more surprising than anyone could have imagined. The moment your soulmate accepted that the past was built on incomplete truths, they stopped searching for someone to blame and started searching for the missing pieces. What they found next left them completely speechless. There were tiny moments they had ignored for years, small decisions, unexpected delays, words spoken without full understanding. One by one, those moments began connecting like pieces of a forgotten map. Suddenly, they realized the day they believed they lost you was not the day everything ended, it was the day a much bigger story quietly began. Stay with me for a moment, because every new answer is revealing another hidden layer. The more your soulmate uncovered, the more they understood that life had been preparing them for this realization all along. Every memory that once brought sadness now carried a completely different meaning. What once looked like an ending now appeared to be a turning point that neither of you could recognize at the time. Then something happened that your soulmate never expected. While reflecting on everything, they remembered a single sentence someone had spoken long ago, a sentence they dismissed without giving it another thought. But hearing those same words echo in their memory today changed everything. It felt as if the truth had been patiently waiting until they were emotionally ready to understand it. As this unfolds, clarity will come. They realized that fear had spoken louder than faith, and assumptions had replaced honest understanding. Instead of seeing your silence as distance, they now wonder if it was simply a season that neither of you knew how to navigate. That realization filled their heart with emotions they could barely describe. Regret, hope, gratitude, and determination all arrived at once. They no longer wished they could change the past. Instead, they wished they had understood it sooner. If this story is touching something deep inside you, take a moment to share this video with someone who believes every ending has a hidden purpose, subscribe for more inspiring journeys, and let this message continue reaching the people who need it most. Your soulmate now sees something they were completely blind to before. Every challenge that once felt unfair had quietly shaped both of you into stronger versions of yourselves. They began noticing patterns that stretched far beyond a single day. Moments that once felt random now seemed connected by an invisible thread. Every unanswered question had pushed them toward greater wisdom. Every disappointment had taught patience. Every delay had strengthened their ability to value what truly matters. This may resonate as we continue, because sometimes the greatest discoveries are not about finding new answers, they are about finally asking the right questions. Your soulmate believes that if they had learned this truth years ago, they would never have understood its importance. Only now, after everything both of you have experienced, does the full picture finally make sense. With this new understanding came a promise they quietly made to themselves. They would no longer allow fear, confusion, or old assumptions to guide their decisions. Instead, they chose clarity, honesty, and hope. The person who once carried heavy regret now walks forward with quiet confidence because they know that every lesson has prepared them for what comes next. They no longer define your connection by what was lost. They define it by everything that survived despite every obstacle. That realization has become one of the greatest gifts they have ever received. They understand that genuine connections are not measured only by time together, but by the strength they continue to inspire even through distance. Every heartbeat now reminds them that some stories refuse to disappear because they still have important chapters left to tell. And just when your soulmate believed they had uncovered the entire truth, another unexpected piece appeared. This final clue doesn't simply explain the past, it points toward a future neither of you saw coming. Something huge is waiting for you. The next revelation uncovers why certain events unfolded exactly when they did and why your soulmate now believes that what once looked like a heartbreaking farewell may actually have been preparing both of you for the most meaningful chapter yet. The truth waiting ahead is even more powerful than the one you've heard so far. Every answer your soulmate uncovered led to another question, and strangely, they were no longer afraid of what they might find. Instead, they felt drawn toward the truth as if every step had been waiting for this exact moment. Deep inside, they realized something extraordinary. What separated both of you was never stronger than what silently connected you. Stay with me for a moment, because the next realization completely changed the way they looked at your story. They stopped focusing on the moments that created distance and began noticing the countless invisible moments that had kept your connection alive. Every coincidence suddenly felt meaningful. Every unexpected reminder carried a purpose. Every lesson from the past now seemed like preparation for something much greater that had not yet revealed itself. It was as though life had been quietly writing a chapter neither of you were allowed to read until now. As your soulmate continued reflecting, one memory returned with incredible clarity. It wasn't a dramatic event or a life-changing conversation. It was a simple moment they had almost forgotten, a feeling they experienced when they first believed your paths were meant to cross. Back then, they ignored that feeling because doubt seemed more believable than hope. But today, looking back with fresh eyes, they finally understood its importance. As this unfolds, clarity will come. They realized that genuine connections often leave quiet signs long before the heart fully understands them. What once appeared to be ordinary memories now shine with a completely different meaning. They no longer see missed opportunities. They see lessons that strengthened patience, built wisdom, and prepared them to appreciate what truly matters if another opportunity ever arrives. A peaceful confidence has now replaced the uncertainty your soulmate carried for so long. They are no longer chasing answers out of fear. They are embracing understanding with gratitude. This may resonate as we continue, because many people spend years searching for closure when what they truly need is perspective. Your soulmate has discovered that perspective changes everything. The pain that once felt impossible to explain has become one of their greatest teachers. Instead of asking why everything happened, they now ask what each experience was trying to teach them. That single change has transformed the way they see your connection. They believe that every challenge had a purpose, every delay carried a lesson, and every unanswered question quietly shaped both of your journeys in ways that could never have happened otherwise. Now they find themselves looking toward the future instead of remaining trapped in the past. They understand that real growth is not about forgetting yesterday, it is about carrying its wisdom without carrying its weight. Every step forward feels lighter because they no longer walk with regret. They walk with understanding. The truth they uncovered has given them something they thought was gone forever, quiet hope. Not hope built on fantasy, but hope built on everything they have finally learned. That hope reminds them that meaningful stories rarely reveal their greatest chapters at the beginning. Sometimes they save their most beautiful moments until every lesson has been learned and every heart is ready to receive them. And yet, one final mystery remains. Your soulmate believes there is still one hidden piece that explains why everything unfolded exactly as it did. They can feel that this last discovery will connect every unanswered question into one complete picture. Something huge is waiting for you, because the final revelation doesn't just explain the past, it reveals why this journey has been leading toward a moment neither of you could have imagined. When that final truth comes to light, everything you thought you knew about this connection will be seen from an entirely new perspective. The final piece of the puzzle arrived when your soulmate stopped searching outside themselves and finally listened to the quiet truth they had been avoiding. In that moment, everything became clear. The day they believed they lost you was never the day love disappeared, it was the day misunderstanding became louder than understanding. Every unanswered question, every silent moment, and every unexpected turn had created a story that neither of you could fully see while living through it. Stay with me for a moment, because this final revelation brings every hidden piece together. As this unfolds, clarity will come. Your soulmate now understands that some chapters only make sense after enough time has passed. What once looked like a painful ending now appears to be the. Instead of wishing they could erase the past, your soulmate became thankful for every lesson it carried. They no longer measure your connection by the moments that created distance. They measure it by the strength that remained despite every challenge. They believe that true bonds leave lasting impressions, even when life takes unexpected turns. Every memory now reminds them not of loss, but of growth. Every experience has shaped them into someone wiser, calmer, and more prepared for whatever the future may hold. This may resonate as we continue, because sometimes the greatest victory is not changing yesterday, it is finally understanding why yesterday happened the way it did. If this journey has spoken to your heart so far, share this video with someone who believes every difficult chapter can lead to unexpected wisdom, and subscribe to continue discovering stories filled with hope, mystery, and meaningful revelations. Looking back now, your soulmate no longer sees broken pieces scattered across the past. They see a complete picture that simply took time to reveal itself. The questions that once kept them awake at night have slowly been replaced by quiet confidence. They know that rushing for answers would never have brought this level of understanding. Everything arrived exactly when they were ready to receive it. That realization has become one of the greatest gifts of their journey. They have learned that patience often protects what impatience could never understand. Instead of fearing what comes next, they now welcome it with an open heart, believing that every future chapter should be met with courage rather than doubt. There is one final thought your soulmate carries with them every single day. They believe that every meaningful connection leaves behind something valuable: wisdom, compassion, resilience, or hope. No experience is ever truly wasted when it teaches the heart how to grow. They have stopped asking whether the past was fair. Instead, they ask whether they have become a better person because of everything they lived through. The answer is yes. And that answer has given them a peace they searched for far longer than they ever expected. Their greatest discovery was not about what happened years ago. It was about who they became because of it. And now the story reaches its quiet conclusion. Something huge is waiting for you, not in the form of another hidden secret, but in the understanding that every chapter of life carries a purpose, even when that purpose is invisible at first. Your soulmate's journey has shown that truth has a way of revealing itself when the heart is finally ready to see it. The day they thought they lost you no longer defines their story. The truth they uncovered does. And that truth has transformed sorrow into wisdom, uncertainty into clarity, and the past into a foundation for a brighter tomorrow.